Drake dropped. Well, I wouldn't even say Drake dropped it. Conductor Williams dropped the video, 20-minute video. And in that 20-minute video, we got this freestyle from Drake. And, very blurry. Well, the original version. I heard there's a CD quality version. I love when people say CD quality.
Nobody says that anymore. Nobody says that.
Yo, stop. Yo, we still got CDs.
Bro, you be
CD quality.
You showing your age on this episode.
I swear to God, I said CDQ. I saw it online. But there was a CD quality version of the song that came out. But forget what quality of the version of the song is. The things that Drake were saying on the song, I thought were interesting. Yeah. There was, I don't even know if you want to call it shots at potentially Kendrick Lamar.
No, there were shots.
Shots at LeBron James, and then just blanket shots at, fill in space names. Like anybody can be plugged into those names that he was taking shots at. So I guess my first question to you is, what does this freestyle symbolize for Drake right now? Like, what does it mean? What should I take away from this freestyle?
Well, let's get to it. Let me get to it, man. I'm not going.
That's another thing old people say.
Let's
get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it. Yeah,
let's
get to it.
Listen here.
Let me sit down. Let me talk to you real quick, okay? I think that Drake, in the words of Kendrick Lamar on Euphoria, the famous actor that we once knew is now paranoid and spiraling.
Ooh.
I thought when Kendrick said that to him in that battle, it was so chilling. It was so prophetic. I could argue we've been seeing Drake spiral ever since that line was uttered.
Yes.
And this new freestyle, to me, is no different. Let me ask you this.
What do you mean by spiral?
Okay, spiraling.
What is the definition of spiraling to you?
Spiraling to me is panicking. You're moving in a way that's not, it's not like strategic. Right, and really, when it comes to Drake, we've seen him go to war with his label. We've seen him drop songs that were not official drops. It's like there have been a lot of unofficial releases, and to me, this is no different. This is on brand from the last 6 months of Drake. Yeah. It's unofficial releases from Drake. Yeah. He can't really drop music on his own because he's going through label issues.
His hands are tied.
His hands are tied. Great way to put it. Another old phrase. But look, this is Drake spiraling to me. But I think spiraling in a good way. And the reason I say he's spiraling in a good way is because we all know Drake lost the battle. Like this ain't. Hey, newsflash. Drake lost.
Yeah, he did.
I think Drake is going through the mental anguish that comes with losing a battle of this magnitude. Right. And that's a lot of probably sleepless nights, him rethinking his friendships, him maybe questioning his own moves, questioning what happened during the battle and how people have, treated him. He talked on this new freestyle. He talked about giving people the cold shoulder at the Michael Rubin's white party, which made people think that, man, does he have problems with Wayne? Because Wayne was there. And Wayne talked about nobody coming up to him in that party except for Gorilla. So it's like we're seeing a lot of stuff happen. Chess pieces on the board move. A lot of people don't know what's going on. But for me, I think that Drake needs to go through this internal battle, put it out in the form of music, and let people see his human side. Right? Like he's going through it. I really love the rapping on this joint. I think Drake was really spitting as he always does. This is a timestamp record to me. Right? It's like,
it is.
What is this, like 7 p.m. in like Barbados? 7 p.m. He always goes to that one island.
Definitely.
What's the island he always Turks? This should be like 7 p.m. in Turks. Baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I loved it. I love the record. I wish he would put it out officially, but obviously he probably can't. But no, man, this is good spiraling to me. This is the Drake we need. I'm telling you, this is the Drake we need.
There's no such thing as good spiraling.
I disagree.
But I'll run with
Have you ever seen Jaden Daniels throw a football?
That's true.
It's a hell of a spiral.
Down. That's true. That was a great spiral. But is it spelled the same way?
Who cares?
But
what'd you think about it?
So
not even. Let me ask you.
I'm gonna tell you what,
before you go. Let me ask you a direct question.
Yes.
Is this the Drake we need? What does a Drake comeback look like to you? Is this the start of it?
That's a great question. I think you mentioned, I agree with you. Drake lost his battle. But he put up a pretty good effort. Like, that's one thing that people have to realize. I did my end of the year, countdown, or not countdown, a list. And I said my favorite rap song this year was Family Matters. I stand by it. I still listen to it to this day, and I still get blown away by the song. That is a very good song. He put up a great battle. And, in my opinion, right now, there isn't necessarily this is not a place I've ever seen another rapper before. Like, rappers have lost beefs before. Ja Rule lost, Meek Mill lost. But this, not only did he lose, but the personal digs. He's had relationships with these people. There's no gang affiliation here. Like, sometimes there's gang affiliation. This crew don't like that crew, and so now we beefing with you. Nah, this was just a personal, whatever, competitiveness turned dirty. And where the angle I wanted to go actually was, something that is hard, it's just been hard for me to accept, is being okay with how Drake was done. It's been very hard to accept for me because I consider myself a real one. Okay. I consider myself somebody that's not biased. I have my own eyes. I see something and I feel how I feel.
Okay.
Right? And I just feel whatever the hell all these people that Drake helped, including Kendrick Lamar, including Rick Ross, including A$AP Rocky, for them to turn their back on him the way that they did, as a real one, I'm just like, dog, like, we shouldn't as human beings be okay with that.
Stop it. I got it.
Listen,
you gotta stop.
I don't know
this
what
sounds
happened.
like glazing.
Okay,
I know what people are gonna say because it kind of does.
How is it? He's okay.
I'll explain.
In the song,
I can explain.
He's
how
talking
this sounds
about
crazy.
backstabbing, right?
Okay.
He's talking about loyalty. He's talking about how he did things for people, right?
Okay.
And they turned around and pretty much stabbed them in the back.
Sure.
And when we say Drake has done things for people, we're not just saying Drake gave people gift cards or Drake was giving them, like a couple dollars. They gave some of these people billion streams songs. Some of these people got their biggest hit because Drake was on it.
Okay.
So it's like, from Drake's mentality, hearing him actually talk about it, which should hurt anybody.
Okay.
At your core, you're talking about glazing. At your core,
I'll explain.
That's messed up.
I'll explain.
I just don't understand. Like I said, I like what Kendrick did. Kendrick started it. It was competitive. Sure. That's why I said I think Drake's issue was he wanted to get personal. He started the personal digs first. And, that's when it just spiraled, like your favorite word, spiraled downward, and it just became something nasty. But at the core of this situation, it kind of sucks to see all these. He's called some of these people his brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, LeBron's my brother.
Okay.
Apparently he has LeBron tattooed on him.
He probably does.
This is what they're saying. He got LeBron tattooed on him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's hard for me to accept that.
Look.
And it made it a little harder. By saying this, it made it a little harder hearing him say that on a rap record.
Okay. I get you. Look, the biggest thing I took away from what you said is the hurt that he probably is going through, right, in his personal relationships and what he had to go through. Like, that's a real emotion. Like, I'm not poo-pooing that. I'm not acting like that ain't some real ish. But the reason why I'm like, which, by the way, I don't even like the word glazing, so let me leave that back in the past.
We were supposed to
leave that back in 2024. You're right. That's my bad.
Yes.
What I meant to say was, what you're saying is so one-sided, and it does not address what he could have possibly done to result, to deserve, or to have gone through the stuff that he's going through now. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
but we don't know.
We don't know.
But what we do know,
we don't know what he went through. But
there
we
was
can't,
a 100 versus 1.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But my thing is this though. At what point? Which, by the way, he did get done dirty publicly by Kendrick, putting a lot of allegations on his jacket. That's a separate topic to me. I mean, I will never be cool with that. Me personally.
Yeah.
Especially the how hip hop is so big. Hip hop is so big. It's a big business, $1 billion business. It was never this big when Jay-Z and Nas was going at it.
Yeah, for sure.
When Biggie and Tupac, hip hop wasn't this massive global phenomenon like it is today.
Yeah.
So the ramifications of a lot of these accusations that were put on Dre is much bigger. So I think that's why Drake is feeling it more.
For sure.
Right? However, you cannot convince me, nobody can convince me that somebody going going against 20 people is not a result of this person possibly deserving something.
But that's your assumption.
Of course it is. Everything is an assumption.
Right?
We don't know the facts.
The thing is, for me,
we don't know the facts, right?
It's public. These guys publicly decided to go after him. Publicly. Now, if it's something like,
could there have been a reason? That's all I'm asking.
I don't.
Like
of course, there's a reason. I'm sure there's a good reason.
And,
right?
and
like
why doesn't that matter? Is my point.
It matters, but I'm saying, like, from a standpoint of what it looks like to us in the public. I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was a very interesting line that he said on here. He said there was a pocket. He said, "Just know this issue is personal to us, and it wasn't business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious. Niggas was never happy for me when I was running up them digits or when I'm breaking world records still as I guzzle a Guinness." Right? So he feels he's been backstabbed. He feels that's what he feels. And I'm like, every single person that is walking planet Earth has had that feeling of someone backstabbing them.
Cool.
The fact that not more people are relating to what he's going through or saying it in public, that like, yo, dog, like, whatever happened, that does suck. That we saw he gave these people hits.
Let me just say something.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm glad you actually read that particular line.
That line
that
was
the line that I promise you, that was the line that was the most confusing line to me personally. Because when I hear Drake talk about people weren't happy for him, it's like, who's he speaking to? Is he speaking to the personal relationships that he had? Because he ain't talking about the fans, bro. People loved Drake.
Of course.
We've crowned Drake for 15 years as the golden boy.
I think he's talking about, I interpreted that line as LeBron James shot, where I think, this is my issue, right? This has been my issue since day one. Old man, right? Old man yelling at the cloud.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's a rap beef. Yes, there's no rules to a rap beef, right? But there's ramifications that happen after the beef is over. And one of those ramifications is Drake feeling like, dog, like, in this beef I got in with Kendrick, 100 other people that I helped sided with the guy that he didn't necessarily all help.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Like, could you imagine you get into a fight, right? And then all the people that you thought were your homies were siding with the person that fought you.
I hear you. It's
like,
dirty. It's
you
dirty.
should feel a certain type of way about it. That's all I'm saying.
I get that. And it does justify why Drake is in his feelings.
Yeah.
And he should. He has a good reason to be in his feelings.
That's how I felt.
I understand that.
He said y'all took it as essentially business. You can say you can replace the word business with entertainment.
Hey, look.
You can replace the word entertainment with y'all took this as fun.
Hey, look.
He's saying that this was personal to me.
Look, fair enough. We can debate all day about like the extent of the personal shots, him feeling backstabbed. Cool. He feels backstabbed. Great.
Yes.
For me, I don't really care too much because although assumptions are being made, I refuse to not allow my brain to go to the extent of, well, why were all of these people against you?
We still don't know.
Happened.
Something
I refuse to act as if Drake is some victim of happenstance. Like all of these people just like, like they just turned on him. He didn't do anything. Like, wait, come on. I refuse to just act like that. No.
But you also have to acknowledge that he feels backstabbed.
Cool, but
right?
but do you know every action has a reaction?
Well,
so him feeling backstabbed could have been a result of something that caused those people to react based on something he did. Possibly.
Has this never happened?
I don't know,
Has
and
this
neither
ever
do
happened?
you.
I mean, this is not something crazy. Like, this has happened before,
Brother.
This has happened in sports. This has happened in politics. This has happened in religion. This has happened in everything.
What, you mean backstabbing?
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, backstabbing. Jesus was backstabbed.
Sure enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
And people, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that has happened to prominent people. Now, listen.
I'm cool. Listen, I'm cool with that. I don't want to get. That's what I say. I don't want to
Yeah.
get into a convo too deeply
yeah,
about it.
you're right,
The
you're right.
convo is, to me, like the convo is more about. Again, what I really wanted to touch on was like, what does the comeback look like for Drake?
Okay,
And,
let's
and,
talk
and
about
I think
that
you
real
and I
quick.
think you answered. You
talk
started
about this real
answering
quick.
it, and that's what. But
Let's
I
talk
don't
about
think
this.
we discussed that
Let's
enough.
talk about. Let's add a couple million.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
let's talk about this.
Like-
I just wanted to bring that up.
Go ahead.
So,
If you
like,
wanna go.
for a comeback, from a comeback standpoint, I guess the real question is, how would I come back if I was in Drake's shoes? What would I do?
There you go.
Right now it's tricky because, you know, his whole label situation, UMG, right? There's a lot of people in the industry he can't work with, right? And even the people that he worked with are strange, like Rod Wave, right? Wasn't Drake supposed to be on Rod Wave's album? It just magically that feature just disappeared, right? So, like, I think explaining himself, I'm not sure he should do too much of that like he's doing right now, explaining himself, telling people where his mindset is at. I think Drake is going to have to, you know, I think he's just going to have to drop a hard-hitting, competitive-sounding hip-hop album and then get back to trying to see if he can get these commercial hits. I mean, at the end of the day, Drake is still the biggest hip-hop artist in the game.
That's cool.
So it doesn't even matter what he does. As long as he's able to drop, people are going to listen.
That's true. I mean, Drake is Drake is Drake. People gonna listen to him. For me though, I think the opposite. I think that, you know, I once was of the mindset that Drake should go away.
You did say that.
And like I was saying this pretty early, and a lot of people have echoed this too. So I'm not the only person saying it. However, I used to be of the mindset he should go away, but I'm noticing he ain't trying to go away. So if he's not trying to go away, there's certain things that he must do to change things for the better. Number one, he got to win that damn lawsuit.
He ain't going to win no. He's not going to win.
I'm just letting you know.
He's not going to.
If the way he did it, people already have a problem with the defamation. People have a problem with like the way he's gone about it, including myself. I think it's just weird and it's kind of weak from an optic standpoint. Even if he has an argument, he has to win that lawsuit. Let's assume he doesn't. That's not good for him because it just makes matters worse. Number two, I think he has to lean into his feelings. I do, because he's already showing people, at least Conductor did, that he's mentally processing the backstabbing, the relationships he's accumulated over the years. He's going through everything human beings have all gone through. Relationships falling out, you trying to understand where things went wrong. This is something that people can relate to, like you said. He got to lean into that. I truly believe he has to lean into that.
I think at a certain point it's too much.
Nah,
Like,
I think give us an official timestamp drop. And like you said, put out some dope music. I know he's allegedly had an album with P&D that was supposed to drop.
I don't like that move, personally. I don't like that move.
What if he's addressing some things over good music?
I mean, of course he will. But I don't like the
That
move.
might be a good look for him.
I don't like the move. I mean, I think, like I said, just drop a hard-hitting rap record, get your stuff off, but like not in a victim. This was a victim song. I am the victim, right?
I told you I don't like it.
Can't have too much of that.
But you kind of need, but you do need it though.
You can speak your mind. You can say how much better you are than people, but we don't need the victim. You know, we don't need that.
It was a dope drop. Listen,
But-
Fighting Irish is a dope
But
drop.
it's a dope. You
It's
know
a
why?
dope
It's a
drop.
dope drop because it's not an official song. It's just his way to get, you know, how he
Vent,
feels out.
vent, get
And
it
by
out.
the way, let's be real. The song was made weeks ago because he has cornrows. You know all that stuff in the video. So, you know, maybe his feelings has changed slightly. But
Fair enough. Hey, what do you guys think about Drake? Is this the start of his comeback, or is he just spiraling out of control and continuing to play the victim in some of you guys' eyes? You guys let us know in the comments, man.
Listen to the full episode, link below.